they really should have just attached the final 15 minutes onto After Ever Happy. There's absolutely no reason for this film to exist. There's absolutely no reason for After Everything to exist. Pointless, offensive, unnecessary. Welcome to Hardin's Mojo Dojo Casa House, aka Male Gaze written and directed the movie, aka After Everything, a film that seems to be made to offend women who've dealt with fertility issues, sexual bullying victims, addicts, book readers, Anna Todd, Josephine Langford, and Castile Landon. Who thought this was a good idea? No, really. Who thought this is what the fans would want? Who thought that the fans would be happy with this? Why would you ever think that the fans would be happy with a film that features the female lead only in flashbacks, repurposed footage shot 3 years ago that doesn't deal with fertility issues, that actually once you kind of like add it, to the footage of After Everything, it just doesn't make any sense. That doesn't deal with Tessa's trauma or her pain or her struggles, that shows our male lead relapsing, which he didn't do in the book, dream fucking a flight attendant, which he didn't do in the book, stalking his victim to a different country, his victim putting the moves on him, buying a house for her, putting more effort into making amends than he ever did with his supposed love of his life, Tessa, actually getting Natalie's permission before publishing the book. Pointless is a word that kept popping into my head a lot during the newly shot footage. It's pointless to show his publisher and her friend making out then wearing his clothes the next morning. It's pointless to have him dream fucking a flight attendant. And if you actually watch that scene and the scene where Hessa has sex at the wedding, you will see the monumental difference between a male shot sex scene and a female shot sex scene. Pointless for Sebastian to even be in the film in this movie, period. Pointless to have Hardin buy Natalie a house. Offensive is another word that kept coming up in my head. The way how this film handles the female characters is downright atrocious. They are there to either flirt with, fuck, or be the redemption of the male main character. Every single one outside of his mother in the newly shot footage. Literally, every single female character in the newly shot footage is either there to flirt with, fuck, or be the redemption of the male main character. In the book, when Hardin and Natalie reunite and run into each other, she is pregnant, engaged, moved on, and Hardin firmly in her rear view. And After Everything, she is not pregnant, she is not engaged, and she's used solely for the betterment of the main male character and to almost give him a pass for his behavior. This film continues the franchise tradition of being afraid to show Hardin as a truly terrible person, with this film being the crowning achievement of shame, where James is the real villain for spreading around the video and not Hardin for filming and sending it in the first damn place. If you're unwilling to deal with this, then you shouldn't have brought Natalie into it. It is offensive to not deal. It is offensive for Natalie to be there just to forgive Hardin. That is the only reason why she is there. She is not there so we can learn about her trauma and, deal with all the stuff that she's been, dealing with, for the past few years. It doesn't matter because, yes, there is like this one scene where after Sebastian comes at Hardin, he goes to the bar. Of course, he drinks. And Natalie comes up and there is a moment where he asks her, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? And she says, there are good days and bad days, which is a great moment. But of course, then she runs off, and that's the end of that scene, or that's the end of that little interaction, because I guess that was just too much characterization for the main female character, because that was actually, about to actually talk about her shit, and not actually, there just to be the betterment of the main male character. It is offensive to not deal with the fertility issues, and then immediately jump into Hessa having kids. This is where I will take the Bulgaria crew to task. It is because when they were in Bulgaria, that is when they should have shot the fertility issues. That is when they should have shot the miscarriage stuff. That is when they should have gotten all that footage. So unless they are saving that for a potential Tessa movie, which is not coming, there's no evidence to support that it's coming, then the fertility issues should have been dealt with, in the Bulgaria stuff. It's offensive to reduce your main female lead to flashbacks, repurposed footage, or Bulgaria footage. One of the reasons why I so zero in on the fertility issues and the miscarriage stuff is because Anna Todd wrote the After series as a way to kind of say that romance is not perfect, that it's not all sunshine and rainbows, that it's not the perfect, happy, beautiful ending of you say you want to have kids, you try to have kids, you get pregnant, and then you pop them out, and nothing else, and nothing else happens. There's no in between. That was not the story that she wrote. She wrote a more accurate representation, which that for a lot of women, they do deal with fertility issues. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, that they do deal with miscarriages. That, the road from getting pregnant to actually having kids is a long, sometimes very heartbreaking, sometimes very heart-wrenching road. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, and this film completely spits in the face of that, and they just jump immediately from Hardin and Tessa having sex at the wedding to Hardin proposing to them married, to already having Emery and Auden or Tessa pregnant with Auden. Unnecessary is another word. This doesn't add anything, it only takes away and ruins. It was unnecessary to show Hardin putting more effort into Natalie than he ever did with Tessa. Natalie was a 50-page, if that, character, while Tessa is the damn female lead. The new scenes, for the most part, add nothing to the story. They add nothing to the story. They don't deepen the characters. They don't deepen the situations. They just add nothing. There's no reason for this movie to exist other than to drag some more money out of this franchise. Let's talk about the performances, and let's start with the new stuff, because that takes up 95% of the damn movie. Hero was always a fantastic actor, and that continues here. It's just not Hardin. I don't recognize this Hardin. He's a great actor, he's given a great performance, but it's just not Hardin. You keep calling him Hardin, but it's just not Hardin at all. I do not recognize this Hardin in this footage. Mimi Keene, I feel really bad for, because I actually love her as an actress, and she was really great with what she was given, and too bad it's not Natalie, and that she was just there for the betterment of the male character. Benjamin Mascolo, who plays Natalie's friend Sebastian, was horrendous, and there is no reason for him to be here at all. There is no reason for this character to exist at all. And there is a scene where he does come at Hardin, where he kind of talks a little bit about how when Natalie first got to Portugal, how terrible off that she was, how broken she was, how messed up that she was, how hurt that she was. And you know what? It would have been really great if they gave that damn dialogue to Natalie. It would have been really great if they actually gave that to Natalie. I don't need to hear that dialogue coming out of a terrible actor's mouth. I don't need that dialogue to come out of a man's mouth. I need that dialogue to come out of the woman's mouth. And there was absolutely no reason for Sebastian to be here at all. Louise Lombard is only in one scene, and she's great, but again, say it with me, it's not Trish, because Trish would never send Hardin after Natalie. Trish would never suggest that he go to where Natalie is. That's not Trish. So Louise Lombard was great. It's just not Trish. Natalie's friends, the publisher's friend, the flight attendant, they were fine. Nothing special. Say it with me. There was no purpose for them to be in this movie. There was no purpose for them to be in this movie. There was no purpose for their characters to be in this movie. For Natalie's friends, the flight attendant, they're just there to make eyes at Hardin and to fuck him. That is the only reason why they're there. There's absolutely no reason for these characters to be in the movie. Absolutely no reason whatsoever. But they were fine, nothing special. I wanted to save Stephen Moyer for last because there was a scene between him and Hardin that wasn't, surprisingly, pointless, offensive, or unnecessary. It was actually the best damn scene of the entirety of the new footage, and one of the best scenes of the whole franchise, one of the best acted scenes of the whole franchise. I just really wish it wasn't in this film. I wish that it wasn't in this film. I wish that it wasn't in this film because it was actually a really great scene. Stephen Moyer and Hero Finds Tiffin, they acted the hell out of it. They have an easy chemistry together. They play really well off of each other. It was actually a really well-written scene, and I was just wondering, what the hell is it doing in this movie? Because it was actually, it was not offensive, it was not pointless, and it was not unnecessary. So was that also another? No, we know it was shot in Portugal, but like, was it just? I mean, like, why could they not have done this in another movie? Why could they not have done this in After Ever Happy? Because this is honestly like one of the best scenes of the entire franchise. And these two really played well off of each other. They were really great. It hit me in all the feels. Why was it in this movie? I just wish that it wasn't in this movie. Before I jump into the Bulgaria stuff, I want to talk about some weirdness. And that's the fact that multiple scenes feel cribbed from other movies. The flight attendant sex scene feels cribbed right out of 365 Days. And Hardin and Natalie on the boat is actually the worst offender. 50 Shades Darker. 50 Shades Darker. Hardin and Natalie on the boat, I mean, because like when we first get like that overarching, helicopter drone shot establishing them on the boat, there's this song that plays over the soundtrack that I swear sounds like I Don't Want to Live Forever. That sounds eerily like I Don't Want to Live Forever. That actually sounds like a it sounds like a it sounds like a Spanish version of I Don't Want to Live Forever, or at least like something that like really was inspired by I Don't Want to Live Forever. But once we actually get on the boat, and when we get to like the whole like Hardin buying Natalie the house, it's basically a shot for shot, cribbed like shot for shot a moment from 50 Shades Darker. Because Natalie literally points out the house, she shows interest in it, and then, Hardin buys it for her. Why? Hardin would never do that. Like, why? Again, he's putting more effort into Natalie than he ever put into Tessa. One of the things that I do want to talk about here is the fact that there's some meta-ness in this movie. Now, of course, we know that Hardin's book is named after. The book that he's having writer's block on is called Before. Mm-hmm. And the book that he's carrying at the end with the kids, it is called After Ever Happy. I'm not gonna, take too much off of them for that, because it's that's just continuing the tradition of Anna naming the Hardin's books after the books of the franchise. She called the first book After. Hardin's first book After, so it's like I'm not going to take too much points for that. But what I will take a lot of points off for, and what I will kind of like want to throttle them for, is that there is a scene where Hardin, Natalie, and her friends are on the beach, and when they find out that he's a writer, one of them literally says Harry Styles should play you in a movie. Why would you bring that up? Anna Todd has worked her ass off. To distance this thing from the Harry Styles of it all. The fans have worked their asses off, and we have had to deal with Harry Styles fans and even the haters of this franchise continuing to want to bring this back to Harry Styles, and then you guys just bring that up. Like, why would you do that? There was absolutely no reason to throw that into this film. There was absolutely no reason. But you know what? Let's talk about the positives here. Let's talk about the Bulgaria footage. Let's talk about that 15 minutes, because you know what? That should have been the 10 or 15 minutes that was attached to After Ever Happy. That is the footage that we came for. That is like why we were there in the first place. That is why we sat through a unnecessary, offensive, and pointless film, is to get to that 10 minutes. And it's great. It's great. Hessa has great chemistry. All these actors are amazing. Kiana Madeira, Chance Perdomo, Frances Turner, Josephine Langford. Josephine Langford is Tessa. Even in like the small bit that Joe has, she's fantastic. And she proves why she was like one of the best damn things about this entire franchise. And why nobody will ever beat Joe. Why they never should have, tossed Tessa to the side. And why they never should have, said fuck, to all of her issues. All of her struggles. Like, even in those 10 minutes, Jo proves why she was the best Tessa that we ever could have asked for. And when I look at the Bulgaria footage, Castile Landon poured her blood, sweat, and tears into this footage. Like, it is taken literally, cribbed right from the book. It's cribbed right from the book. It feels like I'm literally watching the book come to life. It's too bad that this is actually attached to the end of this movie because, again, it kind of, it doesn't match. It doesn't match. It doesn't feel like I'm watching the same film that I have been watching for the past 95% of it. For the past, 70 or 80 minutes. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm watching the same movie. It feels like it's cribbed from a completely different movie because it is cribbed from a completely different movie. The only thing that I would, hit the Bulgaria footage for is that it doesn't include the fertility issues. It doesn't include, the miscarriage stuff. That it jumps right from the proposal, to Hessa, having kids. And that's the only thing that I'll, attack it for. Because you know what? Jo and Hero still have amazing chemistry. They still really play well off of each other. Hero knocked the hell out of the Hardin's best man speech. I actually did... like some of the interplay. I did love, Smith coming up to, Jo or to Tessa and, asking her to dance. I loved, the little bit that we got of Ariel Kebbel, as Kim. I mean, this is the footage that we should have gotten 10 years ago. There was absolutely no reason to crib that footage and plop it onto a unnecessary, pointless, offensive film. And I just got to ask, who was this made for? Who was this made for? Because it wasn't made for the fans because the fans are pissed off. This film was made solely for the people who are fine with just watching for 70 or 80 minutes Hero walking around the streets of Portugal, shirtless, fighting, and fucking. There's absolutely no reason for this film to exist. There is no reason for this film to exist. And that final 10 or 15 minutes should have been attached to After Ever Happy. So overall, I would give this film... If I'm just going to grade the Bulgaria footage, I give it an A. I give it an A. I might knock it down a little bit to like a B+ because of the minus the infertility, miscarriage stuff. But overall, I was very happy with the Bulgaria footage. Overall, I was very ecstatic with the Bulgaria footage. And you could chuck the rest of this movie in the trash other than that one Vance and Hardin sequence. You can chuck the rest of this movie in the trash because there was absolutely no reason for this film to exist. All right, so jump down to the comment section below. Let me know what you think. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your continued love and support. As always, remember, if you like what you see here and you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's go through all the stuff you'll be able to find on this channel right now. So I'll be bringing you guys constant updates on After Ever Happy, After Everything, all the After spinoffs. It Ends With Us, Hush Hush the Mister, and The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Once we start getting more and more information about Hush Hush and the Mister, I will be bringing you guys more information on that. As we get back into the filming of It Ends With Us, once the strikes are over, I will be bringing you guys more information on It Ends With Us. And as we get closer and closer to the release date of The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I will be making more videos centered around that. Because I was terminated for so long, there's still some stuff from After We Collided that I do have to catch up on, including topic videos, and those are coming sooner rather than later. As always, remember, this channel would not be able to grow to the heights that it has without you guys, and so for that, I'm eternally grateful. You know, I know, there are plenty of fans out there, old and new, who have no idea, absolutely no idea that this channel exists or that it's even back from termination in the first place. So please keep sharing the channel. Please keep spreading the word of Charles' Movie Channel, because this will easily be one of the best, not the best, book-to-movie adaptation channels you'll find right here on YouTube, or dare I say anywhere. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep sharing. My name is Charles. Welcome to the Book to Movie Adaptation channel. I'll see you later. After fans, Jo fans, Hero fans, It Ends With Us fans, Blake Lively fans, Justin Baldoni fans, It Ends Hush Hush fans, The Mister fans, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes fans, Book to Movie fans. Take care, y'all.